Louisville comes in, tied for 4th in the ACC this year. TCU, the Big 12 champions for the first time in program history. As we mentioned, they want to make another first today, advancing to their first Sweet 16. So we're ready to tip it up here in Schollmeyer Arena. Olivia Cochran and Sedona Prince tip it up, and it's TCU's possession to start things off. Donovan Hunter out top with the basketball.
And Louisville will start in their man-to-man defense. They will mix it up throughout the game. They like pressure.
And they love to turn the ball over. Jayda Curry out in the passing lane. They create their first points off turnovers. That's what they love to do.
Yeah, perfect start for Louisville.
Let's take a look at tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Capital One. Connor, Hunter, Van Lith, Eminopu, and Prince for TCU. As Louisville forces another turnover. They can't convert this time.
A bit of a chaotic start for the game, and I think that's all in Louisville's favor.
Yeah,
they like to make it messy out there, and TCU with 2 quick turnovers.
Van Lith changes direction, short on the shot. Olivia Cochran there to rebound as we take a look at the starting lineup for the Louisville Cardinals. Jayda Curry back in the lineup after a couple of missed games in the ACC tournament with the shoulder surgery. Taj Roberts had a terrific game against Nebraska, 16 points to lead the way against the Huskers. And Olivia Cochran inside has played more games at the University of Louisville than any other player in their history. TCU had a bit of a slow start in the first round game against FDU. They were actually down to the 15 seed at the end of the first quarter. Sedona Prince, some contact underneath, no whistle, and the first score of the game for the Horned Frogs.
Yeah, pretty job of just reading the defense and having patience. TCU executes really well in the quarter court when they have the chance.
Jalea Williams, the transfer from Miami, number 12 with the basketball, kicks out to Curry. Curry changes gears, tries to get it up to Cochran. Prince had a hand on it, but it will stay on this end. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Coach Mark Campbell, in his second year, took a team that was last in the Big 12, and in 2 years, they are Big 12 champions. He is trying to make history again tonight with this team. He's taken a couple of teams in their second years and vaulted to the top of the conference. Sac State before he came to TCU. Roberts from the top of the key just grazes in front of the rim.
Shot clock running down right there. Good shot for Roberts just to get a good look that was open.
Hunter into the lane and banks it in.
There's going to be so much focus on the big 3 for TCU, and I think opportunities will be open for Hunter and Eminopu.
Nyla Harris, talented junior, number 2. The screen set for Curry, and Madison Connor commits a foul. That will send Jayda Curry to the free throw line for 3.
Jayda Curry is just really active at the offensive end. Started a little slow, I thought, on Friday in her game. Hadn't played in the ACC tournament because of that shoulder that you mentioned. Really got herself going late in the game. Fourth quarter was tremendous.
Jeff Walls, very good in NCAA tournament play, and actually when his team's an underdog, Louisville's been 9-7, so he has a winning record in the NCAA tournament as an underdog. And of course, he's pulled off some epic upsets over the years, as we will get to later on.
It has been plug and play really for him at Louisville. He finds athletes, he finds players that can fit into his system, that love to play defense and be disruptive. Has great success with that.
Jayda Curry, number 1 in the ACC in free throw percentage, almost 92% on the year. And she makes all 3 free throws to make TCU pay for the foul, and that allows Louisville, excuse me, get it right. Louisville to pick up in full court pressure, and here's Curry again with another steal. The shot is blocked, and it's out on the Cardinals.
TCU needs to do a better job of faking passes to make a pass, and they cannot make chest passes through this defense.
TCU is actually number 1 in the Big 12 in the fewest number of turnovers, and they already have 4 turnovers here in the early going against Louisville.
Yeah, it will take TCU, I think, a minute to settle down against this pressure defense. I expect a veteran team like TCU to be able to adjust at some point.
Williams out top. They get the ball to Curry again. This time she travels.
And that is what TCU wants to do. Every time Jayda Curry comes off of the screen, they are going to be on her hip and put pressure on her, so she has to put the ball on the floor, causing a turnover that time.
Louisville up 5-4 to start the game here in Fort Worth.
A little bit bigger of a lineup here in for Louisville now, with Russell coming in for Roberts.
Van Lith to Eminopu inside to Sedona Prince. Fadeaway, misses everything. Williams pushing ahead. Nia Harris out in front for the score.
Yeah, Nia Harris does a tremendous job of getting down the floor, and Louisville loves to push the ball. They're not at their best in quarter court. They like to run.
Nice dribbling by Hunter right through the trap. And a three-pointer from Agnes Eminopu.
Yeah, Eminopu is one of those key factors as a role player that has extraordinary experience and the ability to knock that shot down, and that is key.
Transfer from Stanford, part of the Stanford National Championship team back in 2021. So many of these TCU players with NCAA experience, as Jayda Curry off an offensive rebound able to drill a three-pointer. Eminopu again, too strong.
Yeah, pretty no-look pass right there by Van Lith.
Russell inside to Harris. Williams resets. Williams taking it in. Welcome to those of you just joining us. What a start for the Louisville Cardinals, as a couple of back-to-back three-pointers here. Madison Connor, one of the best three-point shooters in the country, scores for TCU. Jayda Curry is off to an incredible start. She's got 13 of the 15 points for Louisville to start this.
And it has been Louisville's defense that has set the tone here early. It has been an up and down game. And we know Louisville's DNA is their disruptive defense.
Harris with the rebound. Louisville looking to make it to their 13th Sweet 16. TCU, their first as a program, although a lot of players on this team have advanced to the Sweet 16 and beyond with other teams. Louisville up 15-10 early. Eminopu has been on fire early. That's her second three-pointer made for TCU.
Agnes Eminopu is one of those talented and experienced players you mentioned. Has a national championship with Stanford, and certainly the ability to knock down the three.
Olivia Cochran against Sedona Prince. Russell and Cochran are the two fifth-year seniors for Louisville. Bodies colliding, and a jump ball will stay on this end of the court. Louisville will have it with 4 seconds on the shot clock when we come back. Let's check out how TCU is fueling the run, brought to you by Wendy's. Well, Mark Campbell built this roster of TCU from the transfer portal, and they all have experience and success in the NCAA tournament. Hailey Van Lith, of course, playing against her former team. She helped lead Louisville to the 2022 Final Four. Sedona Prince, Sweet 16 with Oregon. Both Madison Connor and Agnes Eminoku played in the 2021 NCAA Championship. Eminoku won with Stanford, and then Donovan Hunter, a transfer from Oregon State, was in the Elite Eight last year. So TCU, Andrea, doesn't have experience making it past this round of the tournament, but every starter on TCU's team does.
Yeah, and that has been because Mark Campbell did a terrific job in the transfer portal last season and this season of getting quality players. One on the shot clock.
And right out of the timeout, Jayda Curry with the jumper. What a start for Jayda Curry in this game. She's got 15 of the 17 points for Louisville.
And just to finish that thought on TCU, I think the most amazing thing about this team is their experience, yes, but the fact that they've put it all together and they have terrific chemistry, and that's what you need throughout a season in this time of year.
Taylor Bigby into the game for the Horned Frogs. Jayda Curry, a senior for Louisville, started her career at Cal, transferred last year to Louisville. This year, first team All-ACC, and a traveling call against the Cardinals.
Yeah, good job by Hunter right there. Just, again, chasing the shooter. They're looking to chase Roberts and also Curry.
Hailey Van Lith has not scored yet against her former team.
And she has 2 turnovers here early. That's the thing with Hailey Van Lith, can be turnover prone.
And this time she sets up Donovan Hunter from the corner.
And that's 4 3-pointers already for TCU. Everyone on their team can shoot the 3.
And another turnover for the Cardinals. Curry coming together with the freshman Isela Arenas to make sure they are on the same page. This Louisville team 12-2 in second-round games over the years. They've advanced to 12 Sweet 16s, the last 6 in a row that they had the opportunity to make. Last year they lost in the first round, but they have won 6 in a row in this game. And a foul called away from the basketball. This time on Alif Istanbuloglu.
Good job right there by Prince to really focus on posting up. She shies away from that sometimes, but certainly with a height advantage. Needs to put pressure on the defense.
Eminoku to Van Lith, covered up quickly. 7 on the shot clock. Van Lith pulls up, got her first basket of the game.
Yeah, first time she's had a really open look right there. Big smile on her face.
It has to be a bit of a relief. As much as she said, yes, this game is just like any other game, you know it's not.
Such a spotlight on number 10 right there that has the ball in her hands.
Van Lith crosses over against Curry. Curry trying to grab it away.
Just checking her shoes to make sure they don't slip as well. Curry seems to be having shoe problems.
Cochran with the double team. Quick pass into Prince. Goes on top inside.
That is a pretty look inside from way outside the key to get the ball inside to Prince. And that is that connection that we've seen throughout this year in this fairy tale season.
The fans are on their feet. It is loud here in Schollmeyer Arena. TCU having taken the lead. About 5-second difference between shot clock and game clock. 2 on the shot clock. Roberts hoists it up. And it's a shot clock violation and gives TCU 3.2 remaining to get a last shot in the quarter. And the fans taking some credit for helping out with that shot clock violation, as they should. Hailey Van Lith, excuse me. She hoisted up, no, but TCU ends the quarter on a 7-0 run.
Well, it was all Louisville to start this game with their defensive pressure. And finally, TCU was able to settle in and make some things happen. Curry and Van Lith leading the way.
Jeff Walz and Louisville are no strangers to big upsets in the NCAA tournament. Taking you back to 2013 when Louisville was the #5 seed. They were going against the defending national champion Baylor. They held Brittany Griner to 0 points in the first half. And Shoni Schimmel and company were fearless in that game and were able to knock off Baylor with, that was the game-winning free throw, 82-81. Still one of the most shocking upsets in the history of the NCAA tournament. And Jeff Walz has had so much success in the tournament. Before he came to Louisville, the program was 4-11 in NCAA tournament games since, and he's been here 18 years, 41-15. He's taken this program to 4 Final Fours, 2 title games. He's one of 4 active head coaches to make 4 or more Final Fours. The others, Gino, Don, and Kim.
No last names needed.
No last names needed, and Jeff Walz is among those 4. As we come out at the beginning of the second quarter, TCU with a 3-pointer, largest lead of the game as Donovan Hunter hits a 3-pointer. They do not want to be one of those upsets that Louisville creates in this tournament. Too strong from Marissa Russell, and Prince able to snag it. Madison Connor looks back over at Mark Campbell for the play. Uses the screen, the double team comes. Expect that a lot from Louisville today.
Great rotation defensively. That is one of the things Louisville does well.
And here comes Jayda Curry. Too strong on that. Another offensive rebound. Cochran straight away, rims in and out. TCU shooting 64% early in this game. 9 of 14 from the field. They're 5 of 7 from 3-point range. And that's not unusual against Louisville. A lot of teams shoot a higher percentage against them, but they like to, as you mentioned earlier, like to disrupt and force turnovers.
As we call it in basketball, junk it up. On TV, we say disrupt and force turnovers, but they love to junk it up, and we're seeing that here even in the quarter court. I think the thing to watch for in this game is TCU is terrific at executing in the quarter court, and you watch them try to figure out who the open player is. When they have a double team right now, what happens? How do they rotate, and how does TCU get out of it?
Van Lith gets around the double team, delivers to Hunter once again.
And Hunter is 3 for 3 from downtown in this game, and good job by Hailey Van Lith of snaking through that double team.
Hailey Van Lith already with 5 assists, and TCU on a 13-0 run.
Nice job by Emanopu of hedging on that screen.
Cochran had a foot on the line, trying to pull Prince out away from the paint. Prince, that's a tough pass as there were 2 defenders around her.
Yeah, that's a tough pass for a 6'2" center running the floor, let alone 6'7".
Curry leading the way for Louisville with 15 points.
Got to give your ball to the big girl inside. Cochran wants the basketball and is working hard, but not seeing it very often.
Nia Harris misses that one. She actually leads the team with 55% from the field.
Well, she is one of those 9 freshmen that are, or she is actually, yeah, sorry, a junior, but there are 9 freshmen on the floor, and nice job.
Emanopu splitting the defenders.
with so much focus on the big three. Those are the things that are open.
A timeout called by Jeff Walz and Louisville as TCU on a 15-0 run.
Yeah, great job by TCU. They are rolling right now offensively. Hailey Van Lith with a great pass, and Hunter, 3 threes.
Thank you, Elle. And TCU, after turning the ball over the first few possessions, has got on fire, really. 6 3-pointers already. They're number 8 in the country with 9.5 3-pointers made per game. They're number 2 in the Big 12 in 3-point percentage and 3-pointers made, and they've been lighting it up here, Andrea.
Yeah, well, it helps when you don't turn the ball over and you don't give up second chance points. And in those first 7 minutes, TCU had their 4 turnovers, which they have total right now, and their 4 offensive rebounds that they gave up. So taking better care of the basketball leads to getting shots at the other end, and they are blistering at the net.
Along with Andrea Lloyd, I'm Brenda Van Lingen. Thanks for joining us. What an atmosphere here in Fort Worth, Texas. When we talked to Mark Campbell about when he came his first season last year, there were about 300 people in attendance at their first game. And I have not gotten official word yet, but it looks like a sellout in here in Schollmeyer Arena this afternoon. They were so excited about the 6,400 in attendance on a Friday afternoon at 2:30 in the afternoon with no students on campus with spring break. And today the students are back. They filled the end of the end zone, and this place is rocking.
And it's a terrific arena. Holds only 8,000 people, so it gets loud in here.
And a jump ball called. It will stay on this end. Shot clock at 20 for the Cardinals.
Louisville has not scored since the 2:57 mark of the first quarter, so they've gone quite a few minutes here without the ball going through the net.
Roberts with the ball in her hand. The freshman had 16 points in the opening round win over Nebraska. She has not scored yet. Curry is on the bench right now for Louisville. She is leading all scorers with 15. Berry off the backboard. Big rebound from Harris. Had it blocked, though.
TCU still playing their starting 5, and the bench for TCU is part of this game. They will be part of this game, but the starting 5 are the primary players in this story today.
Hailey Van Lith with the pass out of the double team, had it knocked away by Louisville. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Jayda Curry checking back in for Amari Berry.
Even for Hailey Van Lith, I think this Louisville defense that's so long and active is you get yourself into some bad situations sometimes.
7 to shoot. Here's a double team again. The pass off to Prince. Ooh, nice block on the backside of that defense by Nyla Harris.
And this is the scramble part. Once you take chances double teaming, the biggest thing you have to do is recover from that and find the first pass. Get to the first pass, compete in the paint in this situation, or find the shooter if it goes out to somebody that's shooting the ball. And a quick tip. What a great out-of-bounds play right there. Peanut butter and jelly, those two. Telling ya.
And TCU takes the 30-17 lead here in the second quarter. The Cardinals were able to come back from being down against Nebraska in the first round, as they were down with 3 minutes remaining and came back on a 13-4 run to finish that. TCU with the win over FDU, the 15 seed, here on Friday.
Donovan Hunter is just all over the place. Number 4 in white there, the point guard right now for TCU. Defensively, their best defender, making plays happen.
Robertson into the game, number 23 for TCU. 6 on the shot clock. Jefferman's chasing Van Lith. She hoisted up, and hits Jalea Williams and comes away with it. Curry splits the defenders. Beautiful pass to Jeffermans. No. And a foul on the rebound by Nyla Harris.
Yeah, great box out right there by Robertson.
TCU shooting 69% here on their home court, up by 13. Let's check out how the top teams are moving on, brought to you by United Airlines. South Carolina escaping with the victory over Indiana. Boy, that Duke-Oregon game was close as well. Notre Dame with a victory and an overtime win for Kansas State on the home court of the Kentucky Wildcats. Some exciting action today. And some exciting action here as early in this game. Louisville was disruptive with their defense, and Jayda Curry got the Cardinals off to a great start.
Yeah, picking up where she left off in that fourth quarter against Nebraska on Friday. She came out ready to play, and this is what's been so important for Jeff Walz this year, is having his senior guard come out aggressively, and she has those 15 points on 5 for 8 shooting. She was tremendous. The problem right now for Louisville is that they haven't scored in, I don't want to add, don't make me add. Like,
around
let's just say 8 minutes.
That's right, around 8 minutes. It's a 17-0 run for the TCU Horned Frogs. TCU shooting well from the field. As you can see, Curry coming off that injury. She had the shoulder injury that kept her out of 2 ACC tournament games. A little slow to start, great finish in the first round game, 13 points, but she's already got 15 today.
Well, she has such an impact on this team, her leadership ability. I think halfway through the season, Jeff Walz finally said, hey, listen, you need to be more aggressive and assertive. I don't need to be telling you to shoot the basketball. Nobody had to tell me, Jeff Walz says. Did they have to tell you?
No, never. That's all I can do well. So.
Yeah, bad place to get caught right there by Hailey Van Lith, and a timeout by TCU.
Happened right there in front of Mark Campbell. As Hailey Van Lith got caught just over half court. And when we talked to Mark Campbell, we had a great conversation yesterday at practice, and he talked about building this program, and he said it was like waking a sleeping giant. This Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex area, so much energy around here. The highest seed TCU has ever had. They were ranked 6th in the AP poll. They have 32 wins, most in program history, and attendance is up and maybe a sellout today.
And when he says waking a sleeping giant, I think he knows what he's talking about. He's been part of resurrecting or building the Oregon State program along with others, the Oregon program along with others at Sac State the 2 years he was there. He did the same thing. Hailey Van Lith doing the same thing right there, getting herself caught in the corner.
And that's what Louisville has to do to get back in this game. They get the turnover, but they need to score on this end, as they have not scored yet in this quarter. Cochran, that's a nice pass to set her up, and she has an and-one opportunity.
Cochran has been chomping at the bit to have the basketball in her hands, and you and I watched her in warm-ups, have been watching her the last couple of days. She is someone right now that is highly motivated. This is a player that played with Hailey Van Lith, went to the Final Four in 2002 with Louisville, and Van Lith has a ton of experience and wants to win just as bad as Van Lith and the TCU Frogs.
And that 2022 Final Four they were both a part of as teammates, and as you mentioned, Cochran highly motivated. Nice three-point play to finally break the drought, the Cardinals. You can see Louisville just tracking Van Lith with the basketball, double teaming, and excellent passing to set up Eminopu. Eminopu in double figures now with 11 points. Curry flipped it back, Roberts flipped it back over the rim, not able to score.
Roberts has been very quiet here in this game. She's a volume shooter, likes to get touches.
Good ball movement to set up Connor, no. Connor made 1 3-pointer so far in this game. She had 4 in the opening round game against FDU. And another tough drive to the basket for Olivia Cochran.
Yeah, look at the emotion on Olivia Cochran's face right now. Terrific job of adjustment, too, by Jeff Walls to try something new offensively, bringing Cochran out in that screen and roll.
Hunter calling for the screen from Prince. Here comes the double team.
Pretty.
And Eminopu gets free on the backside.
2 times down, Sedona Prince made herself available in the middle. This time she was available, but nice job finding the open player, streaking to the basket.
11 assists on 14 field goals made for the Horned Frogs. Here comes Van Lith, pushing in traffic, around all defenders, draws the foul, and 1.
This crowd, this city loves HVL. She has done so much for this team, and they love it when she gets going offensively, makes great plays. I'll tell you what, I would not, she is so strong and tough going to the rim.
Jalea Williams picked up the foul. Van Lith can't complete the 3-point play.
Again, pick and roll situation. Work twice, go back to it.
Curry. Russell there with a rebound, but is stripped away. Here comes Hunter. Van Lith. Thought about it. Waits till Sedona Prince is able to post up. She goes to work on Cochran. Big time hook shot.
Great recognition by Van Lith and the rest of the team to keep the floor open and spread.
8 points for Sedona Prince.
A little bit of confusion on offense for Louisville.
1:45 to play in the first half. Curry around Prince, but is fouled on the way to the basket.
Jayda Curry does such a terrific job, I think, of just getting to the hoop. But, you know, Prince at this other end, her ability to make herself available and find open people and then get inside, mix things up when she's able to get down low. She has been critical, I think, in the offensive scheme of things for TCU the last couple of times down, even if it doesn't show up on the stat sheet.
Jayda Curry taking a moment to catch her breath. She has 15 points, 5 of 10 from the floor. She's hit a couple of 3-pointers and 3 for 3 from the free throw line. And she connects on the first. Well, for the 5th straight year, every NCAA Women's Championship game is on the networks of ESPN. For more information, just go to ncaa.com. You're home for all 90 NCAA championships. Already with some great games earlier today. We've got Tennessee, Ohio State coming up after this one. They're in our same regional, the Birmingham Regional 3. Easton Balolu back into the game, number 11 for the Cardinals. TCU calls the play, and Jayda Curry immediately turns around to the rest of her team. They know the play that's coming, but still can't stop it as Van Lith makes it all the way to the rim.
Yeah, she roars down the court.
And Berry with a tough shot. Amari Berry, another freshman. So many talented freshmen on this Cardinal team.
Unbelievable. 9 freshmen on one team, no freshmen on the other team.
Yeah, this TCU team was assembled through the transfer portal. No freshmen on the team. But that's the difference between these two. Madison Connor heating up. 6 points for Connor.
All the credit to Eminopu, too, with that ball fake and great pass.
Tough shot for Roberts. And then a foul called
on Cochran down low. She's trying to box out Sedona Prince and just gets called for the foul on that play. She's not happy. I wouldn't be happy either if I was out there.
And that's her first foul.
We'll just say that.
We'll just say that. About an 11-second difference between the game clock and shot clock. TCU has outscored Louisville 24-9 here in the second quarter. And Minoku with another three-pointer. 4 for 5 for Agnes. Curry steps back for 3. Can't get it to go. And what a second quarter for the number 2 seed, TCU, as they outscore the Cardinals 27-9 and go up by 21 here at the half. Let's get you to the studio with Elle Duncan, Shanae Ogwumike, and Andrea Carter. As we welcome you back to Schulmeyer Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. We're in the Birmingham Regional 3, and the number 2 seed, TCU, up 47-26 over Louisville. Thanks for joining us once again, along with Andrea Lloyd, who was an undefeated NCAA champion back in her day at Texas. I'm Brenda Van Lingen, way back, but that's all right. Coming into this game, Andrea, we knew that Louisville would try to be disruptive, and they were early, but wow, TCU has taken control.
Yeah. Just trying to read without my glasses. They shot 70% overall for the first half and 69% from 3. That's pretty darn good shooting after a very slow start with 4 turnovers. And a lot of it was just about managing the pressure and overcoming the problems they were having with pressure. They started using the middle of the floor, got the ball to the middle of the floor to the passer, snaked through those double teams, and they were able to find the open players. Terrific job of shooting by Donovan Hunter and Emma Noku, who were 3 for 3 and 4 for 5 from 3. And how about Hailey Van Lith with a little bit of energy and smiles out there.
Let's check out tonight's game track, brought to you by Invesco QQQ, as the shooting percentage, I mean, the second quarter, 79% for the Horned Frogs, just 16 for Louisville. Van Lith has been double teamed, but she still has 7 assists. And Curry leading the way, Jayda Curry for Louisville. As we start the third quarter of play here in Fort Worth, Texas, TCU with the first possession as Van Lith not able to connect off the backboard, and we'll see if Louisville is able to make a dent in this lead.
Jeff Wallace talked about the fact that he needed his team to score points today. He knew their defense could have been effective to a certain extent, but they had to get the score up for them. So that means getting to the rim, getting a lot of people involved.
Donovan Hunter picked up the foul as Cochran will go to the free throw line once again. Olivia Cochran, 5 points so far. The 5th-year senior. She has been a starter every year of her career. Not only did she play with Hailey Van Lith when they were together those first 3 years, but they also played on the 2019 FIBA 3x3 U18 World Cup to earn a gold medal together.
They played a lot of ball together, and Hailey Van Lith talked to us about people that she still knows from Louisville, stays in contact with, friends, people she's competed against. It was really interesting to have that conversation with her earlier, or yesterday, I guess. She holds very little ill will or anything, no emotions really about the past, and is just happy and grateful for the opportunities she's had along the way.
Well, she earned her bachelor's degree after 3 years at Louisville, as Williams misses on the layup attempt and then comes away with it. Curry drawing the foul on Van Lith as she kept that dribble alive.
But to finish that thought, she earned her bachelor's in 3 years at Louisville, earned a master's the year she was at LSU and is earning a second master's here at TCU.
Wow.
Just an underachiever, you know.
I mean, really remarkable.
Exactly. She is a remarkable human being.
And Hailey did tell us, as a graduate of Louisville, she's been getting, letters for donations to the university, and she splashes home that 15-foot jumper. What a crowd on hand here at Schollmeyer Arena. The students are returning from spring break, but a beautiful pass from Curry to Cochran off the pick and roll. As Cochran continues to mount up her points, she's got 9. Eminopu, what a first half she had, leading the way for TCU with 16 points, 4 of 5 from beyond the arc, as Curry and Connor go to the floor. And Prince going to get called for an offensive foul for that one.
Yeah, a lot of intensity. Trying to keep the ball out of the hands of Madison Connor as Jayda Curry face guarding her almost, and a terrific job defensively against Prince, who almost looked surprised to get the basketball right here. Just obvious charge right there.
That's her second foul.
Back to this pick and roll, clear side on the right side of the floor for those two playing together. And they played together so well, really, Cochran and Curry. One a shooter and slasher. Cochran, the big post that can score on the perimeter as well.
Jayda Curry now with 19 points for the Cardinals.
Again, look at the defense against Connor.
And the steal by Taj Roberts. And that's her first basket of the game after scoring 16 in the opening round.
Well, she had 14 of those 16 in the second quarter. And let's see if the third quarter in today's game ends up being her quarter for this team.
This TCU offense is highly efficient, typically. And you see Cochran fired up about that. They bring the double team hard on Hailey Van Lith, tie it up, and it is Louisville basketball.
Cochran has some of the best footwork I've seen in the game, and if you watch her hedge out here, this is what a hard hedge looks like. Hard hedge to a double team, ties the ball up, shows a motion.
And Louisville can't take advantage on the other end. Here's the double team. Who's open? Eminopu is. Can't connect on that one. She slides on the floor, though, to get the rebound. Bodies all over, and it's a held ball that will stay on this end. You love to see the hustle. This crowd certainly appreciates it.
Agnes Eminopu is just such a tremendous player. Her 5th year, still going on the floor. And Hailey Van Lith right after her. Good to see superstars willing to hit the deck. I like that. She's one of the hardest working players, though, Hailey Van Lith. You see her work ethic from the time she was a teenager to now.
She puts the ball on the floor against Cochran and picks up the foul. That's the second foul for Olivia Cochran.
I'm guessing people that are watching the game that don't watch women's basketball wonder why that is a foul and some of the real contact is not a foul. But in women's basketball, there's freedom of movement. Any ball handler on the perimeter.
And a nice pass from Connor to Prince inside, and she was fouled. She'll go to the line for 2.
I think Connor is one of the underestimated players for TCU. Everybody talks about her just being a shooter, but she is a passer. She is terrific off the dribble when she needs to play the point guard position. That's a great look.
Nyla Harris picked up her second foul. As Sedona Prince, as you think about what's on the line for this game, the winner of this game will go on to play Notre Dame. Both these teams have played Notre Dame, and TCU actually had a big win in the Cayman Islands, but the biggest and most impressive stat line was from Sedona Prince. She had 20 points, 20 rebounds, 8 block shots, 4 assists, 3 steals in 40 minutes of play against Notre Dame earlier this year.
Yeah, they had a tremendous fourth quarter against Notre Dame, as we've seen Curry knock one down there. Mark Campbell talked about how much their team just got going in that fourth quarter offensively. He said, we have that ability. We saw that in the second quarter.
Donovan cuts back door, and she's fouled. And you saw earlier what's at stake. If TCU wins, it will be the first time in program history, men's or women's basketball, that TCU will advance to a Sweet 16. If Louisville can mount a comeback here, it will be their 13th Sweet 16, all under Jeff Walz. That's the third foul on Nyla Harris, so she will take a seat as the freshman McKinley Randolph substituting in for Harris.
What a game Donovan Hunter is having here today. We see her at the free throw line, talked to coach about her, and he just said she is just unselfish, willing to do whatever. Just a sophomore, transferred from Oregon State after they had that big run in the NCAA tournament last year. Had terrific experience bringing that here.
Yeah, she went to the Elite Eight with Oregon State, then came here, learned an entirely new system. Selfless winner is what Mark Campbell calls her. The kick out to Roberts, she knew it was off, started going in. Good offensive rebound by Russell, can't convert, and there is Randolph trying to tie it up, but what a strong effort from Agnes Eminopu to just protect the basketball.
Eminopu's just a beast, 5'11", athletic, can play on the perimeter, play inside. She has been making plays happen. The first half, she made some pretty plays, shooting the three-pointer. Here in the second half, getting on the floor, mixing it up inside.
Connor, that's what she does. Madison Connor is number 2 in the country in three-pointers made. She makes 3.5 per game. And with that assist, Hailey Van Lith now with 8 assists. And a whistle and a foul.
Hands on the ball handler right there. Anytime a ball handler facing the basket, put your hands on them, restrict their freedom of movement. That's an automatic foul. Good job again. I mean, Jayda Curry is so aggressive with the ball in her hands. On the shot clock.
Cochran thought about it, thinks about it again, and decides to score it, and does. She's got 11 points now.
She's got such a pretty game, just the ability to post up, to face up, to catch on the move.
Her mom was a player at Auburn. She was an all-SEC performer.
Played a little in the WNBA, played overseas.
Prince gets it in traffic, and a foul called. The foul on Amari Berry. TCU up 56-38.
Yeah, and today it's been all about the three for TCU. 10 for 15, and that's one of the 10.
Welcome back to Fort Worth, Texas, where the number 2 seed TCU leading Louisville 56-38 here in the third quarter. And what a journey for Sedona Prince in her 7th year right now. When she started, she had a leg injury at Texas and did not play. Ironically, Jeff Walz was the USA basketball coach that was with her in Mexico when she broke her leg. Wasn't able to play that first year. Transferred to Oregon, didn't play the first year. Had a couple of seasons, took time off. Her elbow was injured, had to have elbow surgery, was completely out 22-23. And when Mark Campbell got the job, her former associate head coach gave him a call to come and join this squad at TCU.
Yeah, Sedona Prince said, hey, I don't know if I have any eligibility left, Coach, but I'd really like to play for you if I can. It would be great to help you build this program. I know what your vision is, and was really happy to find out she had another year, and then found out at the end of the year she was going to get another year back. She is one of only 5 players in the NCAA tournament, and I think in the NCAA, that are playing in their 7th season or graduated in 2018 and have been around for 7 seasons.
Back to action. Curry missing the three-pointer. Amari Berry with the rebound. She gets the opportunity and buries the 3.
Yeah, I like how Berry comes off the bench and really provides a spark and a punch. She did it in the first half, but then sat down pretty quickly. Louisville really needs a punch right now. They need to figure out a way to score a lot of points.
Van Lith puts the ball on the floor. A lot of contact. No foul called. Berry just hit the other 3. Got another one. Back-to-back threes for the freshman from Clarksville, Tennessee.
Yeah, she is one of those freshmen. We talked about Louisville having 9 freshmen. They don't play all 9, but certainly contributions from maybe 5 or 6 of them. And Berry, a couple of big threes. Nice play.
Backdoor cut by Eminopu, and then Amari Berry that just hit those back-to-back threes commits the foul.
Yeah, TCU likes to run this play, and they move pieces around on the floor in order to figure out who's going to be coming off of the back pick. And in this particular situation, after the ball swung, coming off the back pick is Eminopu. Just a great finish, great look inside, nice execution.
Eminopu completes the three-point play. She's 7 of 10 from the field, 4 of 6 from beyond the arc. That was her first free throw, as she has 19 points. Cochran, nice post-up position, but a whistle. And they're going to call a foul on Sedona Prince against Cochran. That's her 3rd foul, and it will send Olivia Cochran to the free throw line.
Does cover it for my commentary on that one? Oh, geez. Not a lot of contact, it didn't look like. I love the fact that Cochran's battling inside, though, against Prince. I mean, Cochran, 6'3" tall, Sedona Prince at 6'7".
We talked to Jeff Walls about Olivia Cochran and what she has meant to this program. Has been around for 5 years, has started all 5 years. She does a great job defensively. Her footwork is elite, as you've noted in this game. And had some big offensive rebounds at the end of the game against Nebraska that gave Louisville extra possessions and allowed them to come back for the victory.
A lot of switching going on by Louisville. A little bit of a mismatch down low. And T. Kantner makes the call.
McKinley Randolph commits the foul. Yes, our officials today, the venerable D. Kantner, Brian Garland, and Edward Sidlasky. And McKinley Randolph, one of those freshmen for Louisville that trying to pin Sedona Prince with her arm and didn't get away with it.
I think, you know, you do what you have to do. You try to get away with what you can get away with to keep her from getting terrific position on the inside. You have a lot of bodies if you're Louisville, so you can throw a lot of bodies at her as well. That's what he did when they played against Baylor and got that win and that upset win in 2013 through a ton of people at Brittany Griner. He hasn't really had to do that much here today against Prince. As one-on-one, they've handled her fairly well. Again, this pick and roll, clear out on the left side this time.
Curry kicks, the extra pass to Berry. Can't deliver that one. And then they'll call the foul on Randolph as Eminopu went to the floor.
And Randolph has her hands up and is wondering what she did. Eminopu's been on the floor a couple of times. She's working hard on the interior, looking to box out. She will go to the other end and shoot some free throws. I have to say I love Eminopu's story because she's traveled so far to be here in Fort Worth. She was born in Nigeria, moved to Australia. Her family did when she was 3, ended up going to Stanford for college, winning the national championship, obviously, in 2021 during the bubble year, the famous bubble year. And then here at TCU, where she has just become a fan favorite.
Well, and she is just blasting through her season high. Her season high coming into this game was 12, and Eminopu with 21 points as Jayda Curry continuing to add to her total. Such a smooth shooter.
Louisville switching up their defenses here. Looks like a little bit of a zone defense. They do a matchup zone, so it's not a true zone. Good job by TCU to be patient.
8 to shoot. Eminopu goes to the floor, 5 on the shot clock. And then a blocking foul called on Cochran, who had tried to close out on Hailey Van Lith, and Van Lith put the ball on the floor and drew the foul. It's the 3rd foul on Cochran.
Good job of patience, I think, offensively. This is a veteran team that doesn't get rattled. Hailey Van Lith. Situations like this, I think she just likes to have a ball in her hand.
Hailey Van Lith, when she was with Louisville, they went to 2 Elite Eights and 1 Final Four. Then she transferred to LSU and was a part of their run to the Elite Eight. And now she is with TCU in her 5th year and hoping to get this TCU squad to their first Sweet 16 and beyond. She's played more NCAA tournament games than any active player right now in the tournament. And how about that? Curry just adding to her total, 26 points. She surpassed her season high, which was 24 in that win at Duke. Remember, Louisville gave Duke their only home loss of the year this year, just about a month ago in Cameron Indoor. And she surpassed that career high. Tough shot from Van Lith.
Yeah, good job of probing the defense. In that zone again, Louisville was just patience.
Under a minute to go in the 3rd quarter. TCU continuing to keep that comfortable lead, and a travel call on Easton Bilolu.
Easton Bilolu has that size advantage right now against Eminopu, and Louisville trying to go inside and take advantage of that. Alif at 6'3", Agnes Eminopu, 5'11". Shuffle your feet.
Madison Connor lobs it into Sedona Prince, and then a foul going to be called on Taj Roberts.
That is a tough pass to make and a tough pass to catch right there by Sedona Prince. Looks like Prince got knocked in the face potentially.
Touching the side of her head, trying to get her wits about her. As Sedona Prince will go to the free throw line. All Big 12 first teamer, also a member of the Big 12 defensive team. A lot of people thought she could have been the defensive player of the year in the Big 12, but that honor went to J.J. Quinterly at West Virginia. Back-to-back defensive player of the year awards for J.J. Foul called.
Yeah, Madison Connor right there. I think the foul was just on holding Bigby as she was, or Bigby as she was cutting up the lane.
There is blood on one of the players. I believe Roberts, but it's allowing the officials to go over. And Taj Roberts. TCU players gathering around Mark Campbell.
Well, and you have about 30 seconds to manage a situation like this on the sideline, and the trainer needs to get the blood stopped. Then you just wonder if there's blood on jerseys or anywhere else. Kind of hard to tell with red jerseys, isn't it?
That's an advantage of red jerseys for sure. Amari Berry at 2024 McDonald's High School All-American. She was the Tennessee Gatorade Player of the Year. First player from Clarksville High School in Tennessee to earn Miss Basketball in the state of Tennessee.
And she is a hard worker. She is somebody that as a freshman we've seen flashes from her and will grow into the system.
And the ball, the hustle play by Curry forced the turnover. It got away from Donovan Hunter. Shot clock is off as Louisville will have the ball with 23.1 seconds remaining.
A bit of a lull, really, defensively for TCU, I think, in the last 4 or 5 minutes against Louisville. They've had some open looks. They've given open looks to Curry, who's had a little extra room to shoot the basketball. Some extra opportunities for Louisville.
The starters have played primarily for TCU. Taylor Bigby has 4 minutes and Robertson has 2. The rest of the time has been all the starters have stayed on the floor for TCU. As the crowd comes to their feet to try to help this defensive effort, the pull-up. Easton Bulolu missing the three-pointer, and that's the way we will end the third quarter. TCU up 69-51 as we head to fourth quarter. A trip to the Sweet 16 is on the line. Oh, we want to welcome you back inside Schulmeyer Arena, where it is an historic night for sure. Tonight's attendance, 7,494. It's a TCU women's sports record. This is a program that 2 years ago was at the bottom of the Big 12. When Mark Campbell came, he said there were probably 300 people at our first game last season. And they have grown to embrace this team. They won their first Big 12 championship, regular season, and tournament title. And now they are on the verge of going to the program's first Sweet 16 as we start the fourth quarter here in Fort Worth. A tough shot inside to start for Louisville. Easton Bulolu receives a nice pass from Curry.
Well, let's see if Louisville has a push in them here right now.
Nice defense by Van Lith as she deflected the ball away. Curry was trying to go to the corner, had a wide open teammate in the corner, but 21 on the shot clock.
Well, to cut into this lead, they're just going to have to do it possession by possession. It doesn't come quickly, but TCU needs to continue with their tough defense.
Cochran for three, too short for that one, and nice block out from Emma Noku.
Yeah, Cochran, a 21% free throw shoot or three-point shooter, but she can knock those down, and she's hit some critical ones at times during the season.
Louisville has hung with TCU in both the first and third quarters. It was the second quarter that really got them in a hole as TCU outscored them 27-9 in the second quarter.
Louisville struggled to score during that time, but TCU, I was just looking at the stat sheet again. On the game, they are shooting 65% overall and 65% from three. So 10 for 15 from three on the game, 23 for 35 overall. That has to be some sort of record if they continue on this pace.
Well, they've been efficient all year long. They're one of the top scoring teams in the Big 12 at almost 78 points per game. They shoot 48% typically. but tonight they have been highly efficient, as you mentioned, both from the field overall and the three-point line.
Yeah, that was a set play for a backdoor, and that's a foul on the three-point shooter. Good decision by Jayda Curry to go up and take that shot. I think originally the idea was to look backdoor for her teammate. It wasn't there. Had two people flying at her, was able to get it off.
Hunter picked up her third foul.
Two of those fouls have come against three-point shooters, I believe. Against Curry twice, shooting the three-pointer.
Something that will need to be cleaned up as they go forward. If they go forward, depending on the Well, coverage of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship continues on CBS, TNT, TBS, and True TV. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. As Curry continues to build on her season high. And she made all three free throws to go to 29, just one shy of her career high.
Here comes that pressure again.
Prince found herself wide open, and then Emma Nopu will be called for the foul against Williams.
And that's exactly what Louisville was looking to do. They had to get out of that Bulldog pressure, that 1-2-2 or 1-2-1-1 full court or three-quarter court press in the first half, because TCU did a good job of breaking it. That time down, TCU a little rushed. Sedona Prince worried about how she was going to land, because in the scramble, defense was coming across.
So TCU led by as many as 21 in the third quarter, and Louisville has chipped away. That one rattles in and out. Cochran falling to the floor, can't get it to go, and here come the Horned Frogs. 2-on-1, Hailey Van Lith, no, can't get it to go. And boy, Louisville had a chance with that three-pointer to cut the lead to 10, but instead TCU able to get out on the break. And Van Lith will go to the free throw line.
Well, they have been chipping away and just haven't been able to cut into that lead anymore here. But Hailey Van Lith, I mean, I feel like TCU is focused right now, but they have taken a step back defensively here in the third quarter and the start of the fourth quarter. Louisville continues to keep their intensity. They haven't given up on this game yet.
Van Lith extends that lead back to 15. Roberts goes up under Sedona Prince, makes a nice pass. Cochran has to finish that. And
timeout.
A timeout called by Jeff Walls. And that's our break. TCU leading by 15. Louisville will have the basketball when we return. Number 1 seed UCLA faces off against number 8 Richmond at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on ESPN and the ESPN app. Richmond with a great first-round win, but UCLA and Lauren Betts at home. The winner of that game will face Ole Miss. Congratulations to Coach Yo and Ole Miss going on the road and winning in Waco, a tough place to play. A couple of 5 seeds have advanced. Earlier today, Kansas State beat Kentucky on their home court, so a couple of Big 12 SEC matchups, and the 5 seed in both those cases able to advance.
We knew both of those games were going to be really good, well-matched teams.
Jayda Curry out of the timeout breaks her career record as you see what's at stake in this game. Louisville, if they come back for a victory, will advance to their 13th Sweet 16, all under Jeff Walls. TCU has never been there, men's or women's program, and could make history tonight. And now Mark Campbell has to call a timeout because Donovan Hunter couldn't get away from the defense. So to preserve the possession, Mark Campbell calls the timeout. Louisville has chipped away at this lead. It's just a 12-point advantage for the number 2 seed. Welcome back to Schollmeyer Arena in Fort Worth, Texas, as Louisville has closed this gap to within 12. Here in the fourth quarter, Curry and Cochran leading the way for Louisville.
Yeah, Curry is just continuing to shoot. She had 8 of those 32 in the third quarter. Cochran, I'm telling you what, she is tough and she is playing her heart out. She's got 13 points, 3 steals, 3 offensive rebounds.
And the backdoor cut to Eminoku. So both coaches calling very timely timeouts. Jeff Walz called a timeout, and they got a 3-point make out of it. Mark Campbell calls a timeout, and they get an easy layup out of it.
Oh, it's a chess match right now. What are you going to do, and then what are you going to do at both ends of the floor? TCU doing a good job, though, right there, breaking that pressure.
Floater for Curry. She has 32 points. She's moving up among some pretty big names in Louisville history. She is right behind Shoni Schimmel, who had 33 points in an NCAA tournament game, and Angel McCoughtry 35. So a couple of big stars in the Louisville history books that Curry has a chance to move past here in the fourth quarter as TCU turns it over. Amari Berry checking back into the game, as well as Elif Istanbuloglu.
Istanbuloglu has done a really nice job, I think, coming into the game off the bench and providing a punch, playing now with Cochran in the game. Both of them can shoot, score, battle inside. A bit of action here.
Curry, nice crossover. Istanbuloglu out to Cochran. Cochran buries it.
Yeah, you put those 2 post players in the game together, and when they can draw 2 on the inside and kick out to the other one, that's money for that team.
Almost stolen away by Roberts. Eminoku, no. And Louisville comes away with it. Louisville has a chance here to get this within 10 or potentially single digits, and they do! The 3-pointer goes down, and it's a 9-point lead now for TCU. And that ties Curry with Angel McCoughtry's most points in an NCAA tournament game with 35. She's not worried about that right now. She's just worried about getting Louisville back in this game, and that was a huge shot for Jayda Curry.
Well, she does it at this end, hits a huge shot to cut into the lead, and then at the other end, we're not going to see it, but she's the one that scrambles in the defense to make a play and almost get a steal.
The largest lead for TCU was 21. It's down to 9, and that foul called inside on Cochran against Prince. And that's her 4th foul. .505 remaining. Will Jeff Walz leave Cochran in the game? It appears so.
As hot as TCU was throughout this game, they have struggled here in the fourth quarter. 1 for 5 from the field, 0 for 2 from 3. Most of their points coming from the free throw line.
And Prince missing the free throw. And she gets that one to extend it back to double digits. Berry off to Cochran. Cochran leaning back, short. Prince looking for someone to pass it to.
That was such a pretty move right there by Cochran. Just couldn't get it to go down.
Donovan Hunter takes the ball at the top of the key to Van Lith.
Back screen for Eminoku, but can they handle the pressure?
Cochran almost got a steal, almost got her 5th foul. Has to be careful. Van Lith pulls up, splashes it home. Big time shot for Hailey Van Lith. "16 points for Van Lith. Curry feeling it. 38 points for Jayda Curry.
The bench is going crazy over there. I mean, you can see she gets going, and she is just hard to stop.
That's how much they missed this young lady during the ACC tournament. They lost to Duke, who went on to win the ACC tournament, but they did not have Jayda Curry in that game. Bounce pass into Sedona Prince. Beautiful pass by Van Lith, who's got 9 assists. Three-pointer off the mark. Great hustle. What hustle by Roberts. This Louisville team has so much grit, so much heart. They are not going away. Curry leaning. No, Cochran. And it's off Roberts.
Some big shots by both teams right now, and TCU really needed a bucket. They got one from Hailey Van Lith, and then Curry just answers at the other end. Love it.
3 minutes remaining with a trip to the Sweet 16 on the line, and Eminopu dribbles it off her foot. Louisville was time here, down 11. They had closed it within single digits, within 9, after being behind by as many as 21 points.
Jeff Walls doing some substituting, so Williams coming in on defense, and then on offense, Barry.
Curry pulls up for the jumper, fouled by Van Lith, and one opportunity. 40 points for Jayda Curry. She is putting this team on her back.
She just has continued to move, and it's hard to guard her every time she's coming off these screens. She's looking to score. Jayda Curry, super, super aggressive.
And Curry completes the three-point play. She's got 41, and it's an 8-point game. This is as close as Louisville has been. Madison Connor puts the ball on the floor, puts it up to Prince. Thought about tipping it in, came down and squared up and scored. Looked like Prince may have gotten a piece of that. Eminopu leads TCU with 23. Sedona Prince, 19. Hailey Van Lith, 16 points and 9 assists. And Donovan Hunter with 13. The crowd chanting TCU. Prince airmails it over the basket. Curry keeping the dribble alive. East on Bulolu. And misses everything.
Louisville looks gassed out there, but I guarantee you they're going to continue timeout right now for them, so they'll have a chance to catch their breath, but they're going to continue to pressure and use that disruptive defense to try to get back into this game.
So a timeout on the court. TCU seemed to have this game in hand when they were up by 21 points. Louisville has chipped away, got to within 8, as they trail by 10 now with 1:45 remaining. As Jeff Walls brings his team around. I'll tell you what, just being on the road in this hostile environment, he has to be very happy with the way his very young team is playing. Of course, Curry, the senior, leading the way. but they have not let TCU pull away in this game.
Yeah, well, Jeff Walls has done a terrific job over his career of getting his teams ready to play. We saw them in shoot-around, how focused they were, determined they were, and this disruptive defense, it does so much damage, and sometimes it's over the course of a game. Let's see if they have enough left in them right now to continue to go back and forth, make some defensive plays, and get back and make some offensive plays as well. Only one timeout for Louisville at this point, 2 for TCU. So for Louisville, that's a negative.
TCU on their home court is extremely tough to beat, as they've won 23 straight home games dating back to February 13th of last year. And TCU will have it 94 feet away from their own basket, inbounding it on the baseline. Prince finding someone to get the ball to.
And Hailey Van Lith wants the ball. She said, give it to me.
And then a foul called on Harris, trying to get the steal. That's just the third team foul of the quarter for Louisville. But that's the fourth foul on Nyla Harris. So Cochran into the game. She's got 4. Harris has 4 fouls, so they have fouls to give, but they've got 2 players on the court with 4 fouls.
Williams face guarding Hailey Van Lith. They do not want her to get the ball.
She gets it with 10 on the shot clock. Here comes the double team. Hunter from the corner, got it! What a big shot for the sophomore. Jayda Curry can't deliver on that one. What a game she has had. And a foul called on Jalea Williams. Just a 4th team foul. 54.5 seconds remaining, as the crowd chanting TCU. And Eminoku actually ran in interference on Van Lith and caused her own turnover. The missed 3-pointer, Hunter tracks it down, and that should just about do it for TCU. Hunter gets loose. Hasn't missed a shot. Hunter 6 of 6 from the floor, 4 for 4 from 3-point range. And history is made in Fort Worth, Texas. The first Horned Frog basketball team to advance to a Sweet 16 in school history. Congratulations to TCU, Hailey Van Lith, the entire Horned Frog squad, 4 players in double figures to advance this team to its first appearance in the Sweet 16. What a game for Jayda Curry, finishing with 41 points, a record for Louisville in an NCAA tournament game. But it's the Horned Frogs moving on to the Sweet 16. Well, let's take a look at tonight's Capital One rewarding performance. It's Agnes Eminoku with 23 points to lead the way for TCU.
And Agnes Eminopu was all over the place. She was 8 for 12 from the field, 4 for 7 from 3, hit the offensive boards, was on the floor, gave her heart out, and we knew somebody needed to step up other than the big three, and today that was Agnes Eminopu.
4 players in double figures. She has 23. Sedona Prince with 19, Hunter with 18, Hailey Van Lith with 16 points and 10 assists for a double-double against her former team, and helping to make history for TCU. The Horned Frogs with an 85-70 victory. On behalf of Andrea Lloyd and our entire crew, I'm Brenda Van Lingen. Thanks for joining us. Next up, number 5 Tennessee takes on number 4 Ohio State. Matt Schumacher and Brooke Weisbrod on the call.